The BS Report is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects.
First of all,
This is the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
it might be cool, I don't know. And if it's not, I don't
The
care.
BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons works for ESPN. He's also named the sports guy, and he writes a comical sports column. He must be a popular dude.
The BS Report.
It's got a real dirty sound, like a rusty steak knife cutting through a well-aged steak.
Now.
Here's Bill Simmons.
Welcome to the BS Report. March Madness, Thursday, round 3. Do we call it round 3? Joe Mead, what do we call this?
Sweet 16?
Yeah, but it's the Sweet 16's already happening. Well, whatever. Third round, Sweet 16 games. Taping this on a Thursday, and we're going to have Cousin Sal and Joe House join us in a little bit for their thoughts. But now, the man they call Broadway O, the center of St. Mary's, the team that's captured the nation. And now he's on the Subway Fresh Take hotline. Omar Samhan, what's happening?
How you doing?
How's it been getting the media attention this week?
It's been wild, man. It's just a lot of it that we're not used to. You know, at St. Mary's, we don't get a lot of that stuff, so to get a lot of it now is unreal.
I mean, you get it from Australia, right? The Australians are following you guys left and right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You guys kind of waxed Villanova, I gotta say. It was a very, very, very convincing win. Were you surprised that you could take a number 2 seed and basically have your way with them like that?
I wasn't really surprised. I mean, we watch a lot of film on them and stuff, and I mean, like I tell the guys, I'm the captain of our team. I tell the guys all the time, you throw out that seed, throw out the number in front of your name. So we don't look at them as a 2 seed. We watched them on film and just thought we could beat them. We were a better team. So I was proud of how they responded because, you know, a lot of times teams buy into that stuff. Oh, Villanova's better than us, but our team doesn't do that. When
you predicted the national championship, how serious were you and how much was it to just do it for effect?
100%. I mean, that's why you play. I wouldn't have come to Houston if I didn't think we'd win both these games, you know. And if we lose and don't win, well, that's part of the game. But if you don't believe and you don't think like that, I feel like you don't have a chance, especially coming from a small school like St. Mary's. That's our edge, is that mental belief in each other and that we can do anything. And I believe we can win the national championship. I
saw you play as a freshman. I was doing broadcasting for ESPNU, I think. Me and Rob Stone did one of your games.
Yep.
You were a freshman.
San Diego.
Yeah, that's right. And you were carrying
You're making fun of me.
Well, I would say you're carrying an extra 25 pounds, and I was like, this kid's got potential. Who is this guy? And I thought you were interesting, and I've been following St. Mary's ever since. I think did you make the NCAAs that year or the next year?
That year.
Yeah, and I think picked you in round 1 just because I thought the team was good. But you, over the course of 4 years, you kind of you slimmed down, and now you're an NBA prospect. What did you do to slim down to lose the 20, 25, whatever?
Just a lot of hard work. I mean, of course, you got to change your diet, and I've changed, you know, how I eat and what I eat. But there's a lot of long days, man. You know, I wake up early, get a healthy breakfast in me, and then go to get on the treadmill normally for, 45 minutes to an hour and just constantly working on losing weight and burning fat. And, you know, you want to get your body in best shape as possible come season, and especially for, for long-term NBA, stuff like that. So,
what kind of food were you eating as a freshman?
Cheeseburgers, all the good stuff, man. All the good stuff.
Pizza. Yeah. Egg McMuffins. All that stuff.
Oh,
yeah, you can't do that anymore. Now, what is your ideal weight? Are you there now, or could you even shed a little bit more?
I think that there's really not a number. I mean, I'm at 250 now. I think I could shed a lot more, but I think that it's more of a tone. You know, I want to have a certain level of muscle, and my game's a banger type inside, so I don't want to get too light. But I think it's important to have a certain tone. But around 250, 260 is a good weight for a big.
Yeah, it seems like you're the right kind of weight right now because, as you said, you want to be able to have guys bang off you, basically, and you want to be tough, setting picks, things like that. So I would say this is about right. When they're evaluating you, I guess, for the draft, and the thing that I've read is that, if people were saying that you weren't going to make it as an NBA player, that you don't have the ups. Do you think you need the ups to make it at the next level?
I think you do to a certain extent. I mean, you don't have to be a 40-inch vertical guy, but you definitely got to be able to get off the ground a little bit. And I can't jump at all right now. My vertical's a -1, so I'm trying to just get on the positive side of it. But you know, after season's over, I'll work a lot with the trainer and get better at that. But I think to a certain extent, it's a little bit overrated.
I agree with you, and I'll go a step further. I really think that to make it at the next level, you need to be able to do one thing really, really well. You need a meal ticket. And for you can just score within 6 feet of the basket. The ball's going in. It doesn't matter who's guarding you. Now, could you do it against Dwight Howard? I don't know. But against the other 28 NBA centers, I think you could. And I think there's a place in the league for guys who can come off the bench and score in the low post. I think you're going to make it. Does it bother you that right now people are like, oh, yeah, he's barely a second rounder?
No, I mean, it doesn't bother me at all because that's the reasons why I'm going to wake up every morning. You know, it's the challenge, and you know, I wasn't good enough to play D1 basketball, and then I proved that wrong. Well, he's not good enough to play as the main guy on his team. He can't do it without Patty and Diamond, and then prove that wrong. So it's one of those things that I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy the people saying, "Oh, he's a late second rounder at best. You probably won't even get drafted," and hopefully one day I'll be sitting here laughing at them as well.
Well, at the very least, you'd have fun on the bench, right? You'd be a good clubhouse guy, a good locker room guy.
Exactly. I'm a good team guy, so you know, at the very least, I could bring that. But I think I could bring even more than that to the table, and I hope I get an opportunity to.
What current NBA player do you think you could compare to?
I like a Brad Miller. I think I could do something like that. You know, he's not super explosive, but Brad's just got a great basketball IQ. He's a good passer. He knocks down a 15-foot jumper every now and then. So, I mean, of course, Brad's really good. I'm not saying I'm about that level, but I think it's a player I could become like.
And he's made a lot of money.
A lot of money.
He made like $67 million. I actually think
that's always nice too.
I think you could be a better version of Aaron Gray. I don't know if you watched him, but he's one of those guys that he hasn't really totally been on the right team yet. Now he's playing for New Orleans. He was on Chicago earlier. But it's somebody that every time I've watched him, he could always kind of score in the low post. But athletically, just, you know, he's had trouble on that end. I think you're a better athlete than he is. But I just think there's a place for guys like that because the guys who can actually score in the low post, it's a low number. What happened to low post scorers, and why are you good at it?
Man, I think that hard work. Guys don't want to work on their footwork anymore. They don't want to, you know, practice hundreds of thousands of ups and unders and stuff like that. So it's a art that's been, you know, really people are not into it too much anymore. And I said last week, you know, I think the paint is sexy. I wouldn't want to shoot jumpers and run around and do all that crazy stuff. I want to bang. I want to feel, you know, that kind of the intensity that is the paint in a basketball game. And I just think the guys went away from it, don't think it's cool, but hey, man, I'll play back to the basket till I die.
Well, it seems like centers almost kind of want to be guards. These guys are like, oh, exactly. Man, I wish I didn't have to go down there. I'd much rather be out here shooting threes, whereas you seem like you kind of know what you are, which I like.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to step out and shoot threes. It's hard to be in the trenches. I want to be in the trenches. I want to go to war. I want to elbow you in your face. A lot of guys don't like that.
And you can go to either side. How long did it take to learn to go to your left?
Forever. That was the last thing that really got added to my game. It took forever to get there, and I would hit it in practice, but just wouldn't feel comfortable going to it in a game. And then just with a lot of time, you know, we had open gyms where Coach would say, hey, Coach Kyle Smith, he's our associate head coach, he'd be like, hey, don't shoot a right-hand jump hook today. If you're going to shoot any hook, go left in open gym. He's like, I don't want to see you use your right hand in open gym today. So stuff like that's really helped it come along, and it's finally getting there. It's not great yet, but it's getting there. So it's important in the NBA especially to go both ways, and even at this level in college. So
how many moves do you have? How many low post moves do you have? What's the total?
A lot. I mean, 5? I got a lot of go-tos. I probably have 7 that I go to at any moment and feel pretty comfortable with.
Because McHale had 11. He was the leader. I think he had 11 or 12.
You know, someone compared me to him when we were out in Rhode Island. I said, hey, I don't know if you can make that comparison, but I'll take it because he was unreal and his footwork was great. Because
the thing that separated him was he had the moves off the move. So he had the move, then he'd show the guy the move the next time, only there was a variation of that move, so the guy would fall for the move, but then there was a second move that the guy didn't even know was coming. That's the last level, I think, at low post. Yeah. But, I mean, money in the bank shot is obviously the righty jump hook, right?
Yeah. Just get that up over most people, so it's my go-to. I like the little turnaround, fadeaway kind of jump shot. He doesn't like that one.
What's the one thing you want to add to your game going to the next level?
Just athletic ability. I think I can shoot pretty well from that 15 to 17 foot, pick and pop type stuff. We don't do it. I don't pop a ton in our offense, so I don't show it a ton, but I think I'm pretty good there. But it's just got to get more athletic, man. Got to get off the ground. And I think with a few months of training and stuff and really working on that aspect of it, I think I can, help it a little bit, get a little bit better there.
Why do they call you Broadway O?
Because I make predictions like Broadway Joe.
I can't believe I didn't make that connection. So that's a relatively new nickname, or that is something that you've had for a while?
It's pretty new. Within the last month or so, I said we were going to beat Gonzaga in the championship, and then we did. So it kind of started sticking since then.
I like it. I like Broadway O. Give America 2 reasons why they should jump on the St. Mary's bandwagon.
Well, one, I'm the most entertaining person in college basketball and always will be. And
all right.
We're a great team. We're 11 guys that work hard. I said this before, we are America. We're a bunch of blue-collar guys that have our boots tied and our hard hats on and just go to work. We're not super gifted or anything like that. We're just hard-working guys. None of us were McDonald's All-Americans or anything like that. We got 11 guys that play hard together, work hard together, and, believe in one common goal. And it's rare to see these days. You got a lot of people trying to do their own deal, not buy into what the team wants and what the team is best for the team. So it's that's why blue collar guys working hard. You don't want to root for anything but that. That's what America was built on.
I like it. Now, would you say the coach sets a tone for that, or he recruits guys who will fit into that?
I think it's a mixture of both. It's one of those things that once you get everybody else on the same page and everybody else with the attitude, you kind of have to adapt to it. Even if you wanted to come in the same areas and be a guy that averaged 20 a night, when you're around so many other selfless guys that just want what's best for the team, you kind of buy into it, So it's a lot of coaching. It's a lot of guys just personalities. They want to win. They want to be a good team, and they don't. Of course, everyone wants to play in the NBA, but a lot of their guys in the locker room aren't concerned with that or worried about that. They're just worried about beating Baylor, Whereas on the flip side, there's a lot of guys in this tournament still that are just worried about getting exposure, just want to get their name out. I don't care if I score 3 tomorrow or 30. As long as we win, I'm happy. So there's a lot of guys that don't think like that. So,
do you think that you guys have kind of stolen the Gonzaga thunder a little? Like now you're becoming the signature WAC team.
It's the WCC, so I hope we're
WCC.
not
no, sorry. WCC.
I got you.
Which one is the WAC?
The WAC is like Nevada.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I always get that confused. You know what I meant.
Not here.
You're becoming the signature WCC team.
Right, and I'm not worried about if we steal their thunder or not. They've had it for a long time, and they're, in our league, they're kind of those guys that everybody is scared of and everything else. So, I hope we are stealing their thunder. That's the plan. And
that's always an awesome game. When you guys go, I mean, that's turning into like a legitimate rivalry. Like I will TiVo that game and watch it when it's on.
Oh yeah, there's fights and everything. It's great. We hate each other, and it's great. The best is, sometimes few will be like, "Oh, we don't hate them," or Coach Ben will be like, "We don't hate them," but don't kid yourself. The players hate each other. 11 versus 11, we hate every other person on the bench, and it's great. And that's what that's what it's supposed to be. There's a respect, but there's a very, very high dislike.
How about the fans?
The fans are crazy in there, and our students hate Gonzaga, and their students hate us, especially me. I was labeled the most hated man in Spokane. So
nice.
It's a good title. So there's a lot of hatred there, but that's what makes it so much fun. There's so much passion in it.
All right. Well, cool. Well, I'm rooting for you. I have a vested interest because I've been following you for 4 years, and I don't really have my own college team, so I jumped on the bandwagon anyway. But you're
a Gil in my book.
Good luck. Not only with the tournament, but good luck proving the scouts wrong in the spring and with the draft process, all that stuff. Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate it. I had to tell you that Todd Gold, he played for us a few years ago. He loves you, and when he heard I was doing this with you, he's so excited because he plays pro in Israel now, and he's your biggest fan, reads everything you do. So Todd, he'll tell you hi.
I appreciate that. Good luck to Todd in Israel, and good luck tonight.
All right, my man. I'll see you later. Bye.
All right, thanks. All right, that was fun. Let's go right to Cousin Sal. He's in the Subway Fresh Take hotline. We're regrouping from one of our biggest gambling catastrophes ever last weekend. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. I just, this is one of those things where you lose faith in all sports,
Yeah.
We were talking about the Kansas loss, obviously. I emailed you. I said, listen, we could get lucky with taking, whatever, Cornell here and there or whatever, but there's one dead solid no-lose bet on the board, and it's Kansas, Kentucky, second round, money line parlay. You have to lay 3 to win 1, and let's just close our eyes and do it. And you were an idiot for not saying no. I can't believe you didn't talk me out of it. But
I probably put about 2 seconds of thought into it. It just looks so good on paper. You know,
I'll do it again. Let's put it on the board. Let's do it right now.
You know what really hurt my feelings is that we couldn't root for Northern Iowa because of what we had for stake with Kansas. So it just so not only did we lose money, but we weren't able to root against what was really one of the great college basketball upsets of the last 20 years. And you know, people are like, "Oh, number 1 seeds have gone down before," but like, you know, Kentucky in 2004 when they lost to UAB. I don't even remember who was on that Kentucky team. This Kansas team was a juggernaut. There's no way they should lose this game, especially to Northern Iowa. You know, when they have all the best athletes, all that stuff. Oh my God. I just think that was a once in every 10 years game, and somehow we had the team that lost.
Then we gave up on it, and we came back to it and gave up on it like 3 or 4 times throughout the second half. And I'm just that Ali Haji Sheik, whatever his name, the guy who hit the 3-pointer at the end.
Yeah.
Is that a ballsier move than Sean Payton's onside kick? I kind of think in a way it is. I mean, if he misses, and I'm assuming Kansas gets the rebound, which they hadn't gotten an offense. They've given up 30 straight offensive rebounds, but if Kansas gets the rebound and runs down the clock and hits a jumper, you know, Collins hits a jumper with 6 seconds left. What a bonehead move that is, right?
Yeah. The guys in the team said they all knew it was going up, though. Apparently that's how he plays.
And he hesitated, too. Like, how often does a guy hesitate, look to the left, and still make it with no one under the hoop?
Yeah, it was something. God. You know, Chad Millman was on yesterday and was saying, like, what a great sportsbook moment that was. And then a couple readers heard me and him talking about it, and they emailed, and they said, not only did that basically clinch the game for Northern Iowa, but it also hit the over, the 3. So the sportsbook went doubly insane because it hit basically, they were plus 700 money line.
Unbelievable.
And also hit the over. But holy crap! So can we regroup or what?
I think. Well, here's the problem, and I agree with you. These games look great, but I like all the favorites again, and we know that's not going to happen. So what do we do?
You like all the favorites? Well,
I mean, to win at least. I guess West Virginia or Michigan State could lose or something like that, or Baylor, like 1 or 2 of those could lose. But I definitely like the 1 seeds to advance to the weekend. What are you feeling?
Well, here's my question. We had arguably one of the best 4-day stretches we've ever had with the tournament. Mm-hmm. Friday stunk, but you know, if you can go 1 for 2 on the day ones, that's pretty good. And the first day one was arguably the best Thursday we've ever had.
That was great.
And then the weekend I thought had, you know, it started with the St. Mary's Villanova, which was great, and then we had Kentucky, Northern Iowa. Kansas, Northern Iowa, which was obviously unbelievable. And then the next day, you know, Maryland and Michigan State. It was pretty much epic.
Yeah.
4 buzzer beaters, basically.
Yeah, they were great. Oh, the buzzer beaters. I took so much heat for that buzzer beater.
Well, we're gonna talk about that. But I just wonder, can the tournament keep this pace? Are we now going to settle into the whole, all right, now everybody had their fun. Now the favorites are going to take over? Well,
I think, like everyone, that this Northern Iowa thing is nice and everything. But for the most part, you want good teams playing in the finals. I mean, we don't want, I'm not even looking at a bracket right now, but we don't want Washington and St. Mary's in the final, right? I mean, that's garbage. Who are you going to root for there? I guess St. Mary's, but
I see. I feel the opposite because
really. Well, I think you want to see really good games, but the solid teams advancing. So you could say, oh, that guy's going to be a pro. I remember he did this in the final game. You know.
Well, what's interesting about
the lousy teams?
There's not a lot of blue chip guys left, though.
Yeah.
You know, you have I'm looking at the Friday games. It's really Turner is the only guy who is even going to go in the top 15 of an NBA draft. On Thursday, you have all the Kentucky guys, obviously, and then Wes Johnson at Syracuse,
I like those Kansas State guards. Maybe they don't go high as pros, but
no, they could be second rounders. The Poindexter on Washington, is a first rounder. But it's just it's just a weird year. It's not a typical year where you just like blue chipper here, blue chipper there. This guy's good,
right.
So maybe it will be weird. What's the first game?
First game, well, there's Syracuse and Butler.
And then Washington, West Virginia, 20 minutes later.
20 minutes later, yeah. And then those are followed by Kansas State Xavier and Kentucky Cornell.
All right, well, let's look at the lines.
All right. Well,
Do you think if it were up to you, would you have the two games staggered by 20 minutes, or would you go game starts every hour? So basically we just have the second half of every game.
What would you start it then? You'd start at 7 o'clock on the East Coast, and then the last one is 8, 9, 10. Starts 11 on the East Coast. Could you do that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if you could do that.
What about starting at 6:30, 7:30, 8:30? Last one's this one's starting at 9:57. The Kentucky game.
10,
So that's basically 4 hours anyway.
I guess so. Yeah. So cut it back a half hour and then do it your way. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
Because I was thinking about it for the Saturday, Sunday of the first weekend. You could basically start the first game at 12 and then just have every game in a row for 8 hours. And then the last game would end at 8, and it would just be the second half of each game over and over again. Now, some people would say, it's more fun when there's 3 games ending at the same time, but CBS has proven that they just can't handle these switches and split screens. They just botch it every year.
If they could figure it out, and I don't know who voted against the split screen, but it really would solve a lot of problems, right? I mean, technology has improved over the years, right? We shouldn't be going backwards. What is wrong with the split screen anymore?
I did some investigating. I did talk to somebody I know at CBS, and they said that the split screen, people got rid of it because a lot of people couldn't see it on the TVs, and he made the point that we always forget that not everyone is like us, with a TV that's a widescreen. You have a lot of people out there that have old school TVs or smaller TVs, whatever, and the split screen just murders them. So you go split screen, you're antagonizing 50% of your audience.
I mean,
my attitude is this: screw them, get a real TV.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we could have split screen now and work fantastic. Now he was saying maybe next year they might switch, because now we're at the point where 50% of people probably have a TV that's widescreen.
Yeah.
If you go into Best Buy, there are no TVs that aren't widescreen. Everything is widescreen.
I would take anything, even Howard Letterman, the boxing guy coming in, all right, we're sticking with the action. Visually, you're seeing Kansas State and Xavier, but what's going on with Kentucky Cornell, Howard? Okay, yeah, we got Kentucky's at the free throw line. It's off, it's over. That's it. I'll go back to your game. It's fine. I just want to know what's going on in the other game.
Well, what other stations does CBS Viacom own? Because couldn't they have another channel that just had a split screen?
Yeah, it seems like they could.
If you're going to have the Olympics where you're going to have games and then then the stuff's on USA and MSNBC and CNBC, maybe we need to get to that point with March Madness. Now, if ESPN gets the rights next year, which I think everybody should be rooting for, and I say that not as a company man, but just because if that happens, we will show every single game on ABC, ESPN1, ESPN2, and ESPNU. So you will never have to worry about a split screen again because you'll have every game.
Well, that would be nice. Also, Oprah's talking about putting some of them on her network. So.
And Rosie wants to get involved.
They don't screw these things up, yeah.
But yeah, it's really hard for me to believe that in 2010 we've actually gotten worse at the switches.
Yeah.
I thought we'd be getting better at this
3D.
point.
Yeah.
Well, it happens when 3D happens. It's going to be a nightmare. All right, so we have, it's interesting. Almost all the lines. Wow.
I know.
All the lines are between 4 and 8, basically.
Not basically. They are, right? They're just for all 8 games, I think.
There's an 8.5. Purdue is now 8.5.
Oh, they are. Oh, Duke went up to 8.5. Okay.
So we got Syracuse -6 against Butler. We have West Virginia down to -4 against Washington. What?
Yeah, well, their big guy's out, so.
Yeah, but still, Washington.
The thing there. I know.
we have Kansas State laying 5 to Xavier. I really like that one.
I like that too.
Kentucky -8 against Cornell does Kentucky show up mad for that game and just say, you know what? We have 4 lottery picks, and people think this Ivy League school is going to potentially upset us. Watch this, and just blow them out.
That's how I would do it, and that's what my money is saying. So they better do something like that.
Well, there you go.
If you look at this and you say, I mean, I know, believe me, I'm not going to convince you to do a money line parlay
ever again in the history of my life.
No, I mean, I'll wait a day or so.
Okay.
But if you just have to pick winners, isn't it nice to just take Kansas State and Kentucky?
Yeah, you'd think. Well, I thought initially, I was thinking Kansas State and West Virginia was like the lock of the year as a money line parlay. But then the guy in West Virginia got hurt, which kind of ruined that. Kentucky, interesting. Kentucky's favored by 8, but the money line is -420. That seems pretty high for a -8.
Yeah, it is. Well, everyone's afraid to root for a close ending. So
then we have Ohio State giving 4.5 to Tennessee. They're -210 money. Ohio State seems like I would never want to lay that -210 or throw them in a money line parlay, because if Turner has a bad game, I don't trust them at all.
Right.
It's basically all in his hands. St. Mary's Baylor is intriguing. Baylor's basically 2-1 favorite, 4.5 for the line.
That is
a lot of
good.
people like St. Mary's.
And that's in Houston, right? Am
Yep.
I wrong about that? So that's only a couple hours away, I think. For Baylor.
So you think that's an advantage for Baylor?
Yeah.
You're assuming they're Baylor fans.
I can't even tell you where St. Mary's in. Maybe St. Mary's is right in Houston, so I could be right off on
It's in California.
Alaska. Okay. All right. Oh, it's where we live?
Yeah. Then we have Michigan State, Northern Iowa is dead even, which to me is the most inexplicable line, because I just think Northern Iowa is good. I didn't feel like that was a really fluky game against Kansas. Yeah, if Kansas had pressed them the whole game, maybe it turns out differently, but Northern Iowa was good. That's a solid
team. They looked better
team.
in almost every facet of the game against Kansas. I mean,
yeah.
Those offensive rebounds were insane. I mean, you see teams turn the ball over and get cold from the field, and that's how upsets are made, maybe. But the offensive rebounds, it was just devastating, one after another. But they're good. So that line is even.
Yeah, that seems stupid.
Well, why do you say that? You think Michigan State should be favored?
No, I think Northern Iowa should be favored.
I like that
I think
too.
they're better. I just think they're a better team, and that to me that is a line where they put it that way because so many people just gravitate toward big programs.
And if I have to hear Tom Izzo, Tom Izzo, he just figures a way to get it done. Like, He had nothing to do with whether or not that last shot went in against Maryland. He really didn't. I'm pretty sure he didn't draw it up that way. Like, oh no, this has got to go in. It's got Tom Izzo's name on it.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, he's home right now if either of those two shots don't go in.
Yeah, right.
Then the final game, Duke-Purdue. Duke -8.5 over Purdue. I think that's a little high.
Yeah, I don't know with Purdue. I sometimes agree with you at Hummel. Maybe they're better without him, but they had they've played some really lousy games, like against Minnesota in the conference semifinal. They had 8 points with a minute and a half left in the first half. Like they could really, and if Duke clamps down on defense and they're in one of those non-shooting modes, Purdue, this could be over early.
Well, just to be clear, I do not think they're better with Hummel. I just think that
without Hummel, yeah.
They're not better without him, but there is some Ewing theory potential here, only because everybody wrote them off. Now, maybe you could say, I was talking about this on Twitter this weekend, you might say it's not Ewing theory, it's the nobody believed in us theory, which is also a very powerful force. But something's going on, because everybody just wrote them off, and people are feeling that, Purdue's got the team that has somebody hurt, and they don't think about them again.
I think the Ewing theory should be, I think it should be altered in that, and it's still called the Ewing theory, but they purposely sweat gallons of perspiration all over the floor so that Shire twists his ankle and Purdue covers in the last minute.
Yeah, Ewing did sweat a lot. Maybe it's like a junior Ewing theory or something, because the problem with the Ewing theory is that Robbie Hummel is not a household name. Technically, it's supposed to work when it's somebody like Peyton Manning in college who's getting a ton of attention.
Right, sure.
They never win, then he leaves, and they win the title as soon as he's not there.
Right.
But in this case, there are some elements to both of those. So, in your opinion, would you rather do individual games or do you like the regional odds? Because the regional odds are pretty intriguing.
Well, I was looking at that. Like I like Kansas State and the regional odd plus, what is it, plus 180, I think? Wrote it down.
Kansas State's plus 180. The one that really is fascinating to me is Kentucky minus 200.
You think it should be more?
Yeah, I don't quite get that because so they're minus 430 in the game today.
Right.
So let's say they play West Virginia. What's the line in that game going to be? Like minus 6, something like that. So there'll still be like a minus 270, 280, something like that. But also West Virginia could possibly lose.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like the regional bets. You're not with me.
I know what you're saying, but if Kentucky plays Washington, the minus 200 is nice having it right now, right?
Yeah. So maybe if you think Kentucky's going to play Washington, you step in. Or maybe the regional brackets make no sense at all. I do Kansas State plus 180. Though.
Kansas State 180. Let's figure that one out. Okay, so they're minus, 200 against Xavier?
Yeah.
And then they would play Syracuse next?
Yeah, and they'd probably be like 3-point underdogs.
Yeah, they'd probably be plus.
Yeah, so they put some thought into those.
Yeah, they figured it all out.
Let's look at these.
I do like them to win that region. I think they'll solve Syracuse's zone.
Well, let's look at these then. Sweet 16, highest scoring team.
I like Kansas State there. Is that what you're thinking?
Plus 300, Kansas State.
Yeah, I think they run it a little bit.
That's a pretty good one.
It's not going to be Duke Purdue. That's going to be a low-scoring, slap at each other type game. I don't think it'll be Ohio State Tennessee will be the highest scoring, and Syracuse Butler should be close and slow too. Don't you think?
We're on the same page. One more I got for you. Who do you think has the best odds for players to score the most points in round 3?
Please tell me it's Sherrod Collins.
No.
It's not. Was it Wall? I don't know who that.
Oh, this is only for tonight.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's Jordan Crawford of Xavier, who had 55 points in the first 2 games.
In a losing effort. Wow.
John Wall is plus 800 on that bet.
Interesting. That's just for tonight?
Yeah.
That could be good. Well, let's not forget the bets we have, which possibly the SEC over 5.5 wins we have, right?
Yep.
We have 4 right now, and we're hoping. I mean, obviously, if Kentucky loses, that bet.
No, we're going to win that one. Kentucky's going to make the Final Four.
And then if Kentucky wins, and then we'll have Tennessee, that'll be a gravy game. Maybe we go against it a little bit.
So you're saying next round we could hedge the Kentucky bet by betting Tennessee plus 7 or whatever and try to middle it?
You mean tomorrow we could bet it, yeah. So
what, are we getting a 6 tomorrow?
Yeah, with Kentucky will be the 5th win, and then I hate to say it like that because we know now Cornell is going to reign 3 zones, but Tennessee would be our 6th win tomorrow.
I don't think they're going to win though.
But I don't either. But our Big 12 to win the championship bet is not looking promising right now.
We need Kansas State, which I'm not ready to rule out. So do you have any? Is there any great bet that you like?
There was one. There's one that the winner will be a 1 seed. Do we still like this?
No.
No?
Was Kentucky a 1 seed or a 2 seed?
They're 1. They're 1.
Oh, then I don't mind it.
All right, that's minus 180.
Do you like the bet? What about the bets where pick the team to score more points, but it's teams from 2 different games?
Oh, yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't look at those. But here's one. Kansas State to win by 21 or more points, 17-2 odds.
Really?
They could run. They could roll that. 78-54.
Angry Frank. Quickly, let's talk about our suicide pool that we're in. Right. I've never participated in anything that has gotten more of a positive reaction from my friends. Not even Hench, who can nitpick with really anything. It could be the greatest. You could be being served this feast of food. Like he could be in Survivor winning a challenge and getting the food, and he'd complain because the steak wasn't hot enough or something.
Right, yeah.
That's Hench. Yeah. Hench loves this pool.
He loves it. He wouldn't buy back in. The thing was, if you lost, how to explain to everybody, if you lost, you pick a winner, every day. You pick 2 winners Thursday, you pick 2 winners Friday, and then one winner the rest of the way, right?
And you could buy back in on Friday, but then you had to pick 4 instead of 2. Or Saturday, you had to pick 5.
Yeah.
And
your
our friend
buddy
House, yeah, he nailed all 5 on Saturday with his re-buyback of the buyback.
That was great.
But then lost on Sunday. It was his fans were traumatized.
Yeah, we had.
But so now there's some real science into what you're doing. Like for tonight, I still have Syracuse, Kansas State, and Kentucky left.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would wait on Kentucky, I think.
Yeah, but I mapped it out. I already have my plan. Basically, right. I'm taking Northern Iowa tomorrow because I have to. I have to take one chance because I need to have somebody left for the Final Four. I've already used Duke. I've already used West Virginia.
Are you saying Northern Iowa beat Kansas? Oh, yeah. Look at that.
No, I'm saying, Northern. Yeah, I don't know if you remember. But we have a couple friends who are kind of screwed because they went a little too heavy on the 1s and the 2s. Like they just might be mathematically eliminated going into the Final Four.
This is a great pool, and
it really is fantastic.
I think it's really good.
The one change I would make is that I think buybacks should have been twice the price.
Yeah, I think so too. As far as buybacks go, you shouldn't. Well, I mean, to get 5 in a row is really a long shot. Right?
Yeah, but you still if people get knocked out, there's money in the pool already, and then you're getting to buy back in. But now you have 1 in 10 odds of winning instead of 1 in 18.
Yeah. Well, everyone bought back, so I think they'd buy back if you doubled it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one though. It's Hench likes it and Brad likes it, and Brad is another one who's gets curmudgeonly.
Yeah, he's gonna mug whoever wins probably, but. Let's talk real quick about my buzzer beater bet, and then I gotta go.
Okay.
We're sitting there Thursday. I bet that there would be no buzzer beaters in the tournament, and I know it's like betting don't pass and craps, but and then I had Thursday. I'm sitting with you and your buddies, and I had 4 near misses there in the buzzer beater, and then the whole room has Vanderbilt in something, either one of these suicide pools or bet Vanderbilt or bet the SEC over, whatever. And yet, when that buzzer beater hits, I'm the laughing stock of the room. The entire room lost on it, and you guys are all pointing, laughing at me.
It was funny because you'd survived so many early blows. You made this bet thinking you'd have to survive 2 the whole tournament.
Right.
And in 3 hours, you had to survive 5, and then you couldn't. But then you lost again on Sunday. You re-lost the bet.
I know, Sunday was bad too, Michigan State, Maryland, but that was my point. Like, I'm never on the right end of the buzzer beater anyway, so I might as well take against it. Like, everyone had Vanderbilt. I would have Vanderbilt anyway.
Well, we've had readers and listeners suggest that you bet against the buzzer beater every year because some people are crediting you for such a great tournament so far.
All right.
Well, the one part about the buzzer beater bet was you could bet on there will be 1 buzzer beater. There will be 2 buzzer beaters.
Right. You couldn't bet that there will be one. You had to bet.
So what were the odds for 2 buzzer beaters?
It was like, 2 of them was 6-1, I think.
I mean, maybe we should have done that. That would have been fun to root for 2, because then you get the 1, and every time there's a buzzer beater, you have 6-1 odds on it. That would have been fun.
I agree. Maybe we should have done anything else. I know.
Let's try to do something next year that actually wins.
All right, you got it.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Take care.
All right, a couple minutes left in the podcast. Why not call our friend House? He's at work right now, has no idea we're calling, and America needs his thoughts on the tournament. Let's call him now.
It's Joe House.
What's happening?
What is happening?
I don't know. How you feeling?
I feel great. I'm hoarse because I went to the Caps-Penguins game last night.
Really?
Yeah. Am I live right now?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I went to the Caps-Penguins game last night that the Caps won in a shootout. So I'm a little I'm hoarse and I may or may not be still hungover.
Oh. Ovechkin Crosby. It's
Ovechkin
America's
Crosby.
new favorite rivalry.
Exactly. The most relevant rivalry that's going on in Washington, D.C. right now, that's for sure.
I just clicked on to see who won the game, and the ESPN pop-up video popped up. So if you heard something in the background, that's what it was. Because God forbid the pop-up video didn't come up every time I click on an ESPN page. Joe House, how you feeling about the tournament?
I love the tournament. I'm trying to think in the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years if any rival this one, or whether I'm suffering from the usual, the thing that's current right now is always the best thing phenomena.
Yeah.
But I really can't come up with one that rivals this one in terms of the first couple rounds.
I really enjoyed the George Mason, J.J. Redick, Adam and Morrison year.
That was
the Adam Morrison crying. That was great.
Yeah, that's the only one that I could come up with that would start to approach this. And I wondered if my enjoyment of that one was unique because of how much I was rooting for George Mason since it's a local team.
Well, and also you had Brandon Roy that year in Washington. I think that was that year.
It was a good one. In
Yeah.
fact, I especially liked that one because I watched the Final Four in the scores out in Vegas. So I have that one has a fond place in my heart.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So in the suicide pool, you had a dramatic comeback where you picked all 5 on a buyback on Saturday, and then lost on Sunday while you were on an airplane.
Yeah, I listened to your podcast with Chad Milliman yesterday and enjoyed it very much as always. I really like Chad's work, but one of his boys let me down, and I guess it was my own fault. It's always my own fault. But
Sal
Salvaggio.
Sal Salvaggio.
His lock of the day was the Wisconsin-Cornell game. And he's right, it was the lock. It was just, Cornell dominated Wisconsin. It wasn't even close.
Maybe everybody should stop listening to anybody who has gambling advice named Sal. That might be the one thing we've learned. If
that could
Sal,
be a new
go the
rule.
other way. Yeah,
new rule for America. If Sal says it, go the other way.
Who do you think wins the tournament? We watch basketball all weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to say Kansas State.
Really? I'm kind of feeling that too. I do worry about the coach burning them out, though.
Yeah, right. But I in some of the aftermath on Monday and Tuesday, it's clear that team and the coach have a relationship where they understand, what his anger's all about.
Yeah. You mean it's almost like an abusive dad with a family that's afraid of him but loves him anyway?
Right, exactly.
Like the Great Santini or something?
I think that's going on there.
Yeah.
But they have the kind of most complete repertoire of the teams that I saw over the weekend. I mean, I guess it wouldn't shock me if Kentucky won.
Yeah.
They have the most talent. They just don't. I still am scared about their youth. I liked somebody's reference, by the way, to them as the evolutionary Fab Five.
Who said that? I like that.
I don't know. I read it sometime in the last couple of days. I thought that was pretty good.
Maybe I'll just steal it and pretend you didn't tell me that. Oh, crap. We're recording this. Kentucky definitely has the highest ceiling.
Yeah, that's right.
But there's going to be a game. And, I think it could be – could it be – no. Who would they play on Sunday or Saturday?
West Virginia, right?
Yeah, there's going to be a game where they're a little bit like the SEC championship, where things aren't going their way and they're down by 3 or 4 or 5 in the last 4 minutes, and John Wall's going to have to step up, and they're going to have to get some stops and make some free throws.
Well, who makes free throws for them? Who makes free throws for them? I
mean, they shot in the overtime of the SEC title game. They had Cousins shoot a technical, which I was blown away by because he was like a 62% shooter.
Right.
They don't have that one, 24-year-old white guy, like the 2-time redshirt senior who came back from ACL surgery, shooting guard, who would take that free throw or whatever. Or the guy that, to throw it into when you're up 3, when the other team's going to foul.
Yep.
That's what worries me about them. But on the other hand, John Wall has shown us a lot. He kind of ratchets his game up when it matters. He's very competitive. I like it.
He's about, there's only 2 guys in the tournament that look like they can turn it on and off when they need to, and he's one of them.
How many, out of all the basketball we watched in those 4 days, how many potential NBA All-Stars did we see?
Potential NBA All-Stars.
John Wall, Turner, and Wes Johnson, I think, were my 3.
Did we watch? I don't even remember watching Ohio State. There was very little of that.
We'll pencil them in anyway.
Yeah,
we're going to pencil them in.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. I mean, of the games that we really spent time on and really watched, I mean, I don't even know that we saw 5 NBA players.
The Crawford on Xavier is an NBA player.
Yeah, I like him. He's one of my guys.
Favors was on Georgia Tech was the one that might be a 9-time All-Star for all we know, but his team was so bad there's just no way to tell.
And the same thing is true of his colleague Gawal.
Yep. Yeah, he's okay. I could see him being like an 11th man. Pullen on Kansas State, who wasn't even on Chad's top 100 until finally on Monday. I have no disrespect to Chad. He just, the scouts didn't think he was an NBA player, but I think after the first 2 rounds, I think it became pretty clear this guy has to at least be discussed.
That's right. I agree with that. I like him.
I like him too, and it's hard for me to believe that he's not a second rounder.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
And then I haven't seen a Duke guy that really makes me feel like they're a lock to make it.
No.
The kid on Washington's pretty good. Poindexter.
Uh-huh.
Poindexter?
Yeah, right. They were saying Pondexter.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Whichever way that goes, he's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And then
the kid from West Virginia, maybe?
What's that kid's name?
I don't know.
Can't even remember. Yeah, that's why this could be a wide open Final Four, because the NBA pedigree really isn't there with some of these guys.
Yeah.
Which who the hell knows what's going to happen? Last thing, LeBron, if he's not the unanimous MVP, what do we do to the person who votes for anybody else?
No, everybody. There's got to be somebody.
10 years ago, the last time the MVP was this unanimous was Shaq, when Shaq had his year where he just destroyed everybody. One person did not vote for Shaq.
Yeah, somebody's going to be a contrarian.
One person voted for Allen Iverson, who finished 6th overall in the MVP voting. That person, Fred Hickman. So you never know. But, I hope they took Fred's vote away.
Who knows?
Fred Hickman decided it was a bad idea to vote for somebody who had just averaged 30 points and 14 rebounds a game on a team that won 67 games. He had other ideas for the MVP. I really hope LeBron wins it unanimously, because even like something like last night, just watching him just demolish this New Orleans team on a random, Wednesday night. The guy just brings it every night.
Well, the scary thing is it looks like he's on cruise control while he's doing it. That's what I've been so impressed by this year.
Yeah.
I mean, you just look up. He dominates the games. He does exactly what he needs to do to ensure the team is going to win. You look up, he's got 38, 6 and 6, and you go, wow. And
he's also now, teams are playing like 10 feet off him now. They don't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
They're basically conceding the wide open 3-point shot every time. They're begging him to take it because they don't want him to go to the basket. I've never seen anything like it. It's the best season anybody's had in 10 years since Shaq, in my opinion.
That it's that level of dominance every time he steps on the floor. Nobody has an answer. Nobody has an answer.
All right, go take care of your voice.
Thanks.
Talk to you later.
Talk to you.
See ya.
So I get % off. Whoa!
Thank you for downloading the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Too much fun.
Check out more podcasts at the iTunes Music Store or at Pod Center at ESPNradio.com.
Peace out.